Hello everyone, my name is Wisdom Shikodri and I am the founder of Glow with Wisdom. I want to awesomely welcome you all to this Glow with Wisdom webinar 2023 on mental health and academic excellence on this day, 4th of August, Friday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. UTC stroke GMT time. I'll be taking you on how Glow with Wisdom started and what we've come up with in these recent years that we've initiated this Glow with Wisdom idea or a project. About us, the journey of Glow with Wisdom started during the zenith of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, a period that was characterized by widespread trepidation and uncertainty amidst the confinement imposed by the lockdown. I bore witness to the profound repercussion inflicted upon education, healthcare, and avenues for skill development. Wisdom is an academic health and skill acquisition project that is making education and good health more accessible and providing opportunity for skill acquisition. This was when we started then that we began to go to different schools and conducting webinars online and also conducting different kinds of skill development and opportunities for the young ones. If you look at our goal, you will see that our goal is to make education and good health more accessible and providing opportunities for skill acquisition. And our objective is to ensure that there is a world of good health, quality education, zero hunger, and no poverty. Because Glow with Wisdom mainly focuses on SDGs 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our future prospect looks like we plan to make more programs, more skill training, expand education, and girls' menstrual education, and sharing of sanitary pad, community health outreach, and partnership. So, and I hope that at the end of this webinar, you all will join hands as we make our community a better place for education, good health, and skill acquisition. Thank you for joining this webinar. Thank you all.
But because we're trying to match up to our peers and the expectations now, instead of worrying about books, we're also worrying about clothes. We're also worrying about flexing. We're also worrying about the new trends. You're also worrying about phones. I mean, there are a lot of people that their first phones were not bought by their parents. Okay, they had to hustle from the money they're getting from home to also, do that. Oh, sorry, my my phone fell. Yeah, so it's harder for students, when they are dealing with that. But it's very important for you to know that you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to make sure that your mental health is paramount. There's something I always say, when they say, for example, there are a lot of things that happen on social media. They say, your faves are taking drugs, your faves are dressing badly, they're living some kind of lifestyle and they're influencing the youth. I do not accept that. I feel like if you are if you are grounded in your core, you will not be easily influenced. I mean, we all listen to music. I listen to music. I dance to some of those music. In fact, I dance to all of those musics. But does it mean that I will now go and do what they are saying I should do in the music? No, I would not. If I did not go into music because my favorite artist Davido is singing, why then should I decide that it is his other social vices I'm going to take? So that takes us to the most important part of mental health, which is self-care. Self-care, self-awareness is the foundation for every human being's well-being. And self-care it simply means intentional actions taken to promote your physical, your emotional, and your mental health, right? So as a student, you need to think of yourself as a plant. And even if your mates are doing are adopting some social vices, getting into cults and all of that, decide that you will not take that in, right? That's one of the very important aspects of healthcare. You have to prioritize your well-being, right? And then there's something that we do in school that is counterproductive. I used to do it and people would laugh at me. I don't go to ninth class. In fact, the first time I went to ninth class, I got to the gate, I bought yam, akara, all those things, indomie and all those things. And immediately I got to ninth class, I just slept off till the next day. But because there are other people who are there and pretending to be reading, you also deprive yourself to sleep. Of course, some people read, in ninth class. So, but because it's like it's a trend, it's like it's something you have to be seen to be doing for you to identify as a serious student, you now force yourself to do it. No, you have to prioritize your sleep. And that means you have to plan yourself. If you're not the kind of person that can read in ninth class, if you're not the kind of person that reads with other people, just, do what you can do. Stay at home and read. Get your study groups and read wherever it is that is possible, that is suitable for you. Don't do things because other people are doing it, right? That's one trend that is very rampant in school. You're doing it because every other person is doing it. You're tired, you want to sleep, but because every other person is doing it, you just want to go ahead and do it. So it still takes us back to being grounded to your core, because this is not what you'd rather be doing at this time. So you will not do it because other people are doing it. Time management. The time you have to allocate your time diligently and responsibly. If not, the time you're supposed to use to achieve other things, you're not going to achieve them. And then it affects your mental health. Exhaustion. You can get so overwhelmed with having to do so many things, poor time management, and then you get exhausted and you're not able to, carry on your required, focus and required activities as a student, right? Also, another thing that you need to do as a student to optimize your mental health is to have hobbies. Our parents don't do well when when every time they want to see you with a book, you must be reading, you must be reading, you must be reading. When they see you playing, they flog you, they say you should go and read. No, everybody should have hobbies. Everybody should have a balance, right? For me, everybody knows me. I'm minister of enjoyment. My balance is enjoying. Once I'm done reading, once I'm done with the serious stuff, I just go ahead and relax. Okay. It helps you get fired up for the next day. It helps you get even more focus for your next tasks, right? So that's one way to manage stress. Exercising. A lot of times we don't see that fit farm behavior in school. We feel like we're too busy in school to be exercising. We're too busy in school to be eating healthy. We're too busy in school to be, fit farming. That's actually when you need it more, because exercising in this context is not really for you to lose weight. It's for you to optimize your brain health, because exercises helps you detox. Exercises helps you keep your brain sharp. Exercises helps you to relax. It helps you to manage stress. So this is a very important, aspect of mental health that a lot of students, especially, forget. So wisdom, and the team, you can actually bring up a program where you start exercising or dancing classes, or you create a community in schools where you say, okay, 5 times in a week, 2 times in a week, every Saturday you go hiking, do one exercise or one physical activity, just to get them exercising. And also this will also help with bonding, right? Because a lot of times students are very competitive and they want to do it alone, so they start isolating themselves, especially in medical school. We do that a lot. Medical school is survival of the fittest, so you don't want the next person to pass, right? You want to be the only person to pass, so everybody's working in silos and everybody's isolated. But this community, bonding community, um this community behavior in students, it actually helps, because that way you're able to study together, you're able to cover more grounds, and also you're able to identify when someone has a problem that they need, support. Support is very important when it comes to mental health. Everybody doesn't have to be your support group. Identify people who are grounded like you, who can support you through your trying times as a student. Also, it's good to have elderly people around. I mean, there are some schools where you have elderly people around, you have your lecturers, the friendly ones, you have the friendly lecturers, you have some older colleagues, older students. Try to connect with people so that when you need help, okay, and when you need, some disconnect from all that mental stress and students' life stress, you can latch on to their energy. Also, right, there's something very important that we usually fail to consider. Screen time. It can mess with your mental health. You're in school, you're watching Instagram, you're reading also all kinds of news. You're hearing about students who are already in school and they're already in Forbes. Okay, they're already, like for example, Wisdom is already still a student and is having a program like Glow with Wisdom. He's already attending international conferences, and you start comparing yourself with others, right? That's another thing. Comparing yourself with others. Everybody is not running the same race, right? So you cannot pitch yourself against or beside other students and say, okay, this student is doing well, I'm not doing well, so there's something I'm missing. So it takes us back to my first point. Build your core. Know your journey. Know where you're going to. I mean, you can't be in architecture, or you can't be in agriculture, and then you are eyeing somebody who is in pharmacy, who is in medicine. No, everybody has a different journey. Everybody has different career goals or career destinations. So you cannot pitch yourself against these people and then start comparing yourself. Another way that you can optimize your mental health wellness is learning to say no. I recently had to buy a book called How to Say No Without Feeling Guilty. Yes, because we say yes, 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 yes to everything that doesn't, add value to us, or that doesn't make us happy. And then we keep saying, okay, we say yes to all those things and then say no to ourselves. So when you need to learn how to decline invitations. You need to learn how to decline some extra courses. It's not everything. Yes, we're trying to aim higher. We're trying to be, better. We're trying to, achieve a lot. But at different levels, there's some things that you cannot overwork yourself. You cannot add too much to your plate. One at a time. You have to plan. You have to say, okay, you have to give yourself timelines. What are my short-term goals? What are my medium-term goals? What are my long-term goals? At the end of this year, what do I want to achieve? What's the extra skill I want to get? So all of these things, you have to be in check. Don't just do the social media bandwagon because this person is going for extra classes. You want to go. You don't need the extra class. The person might need the extra class. So don't attend extra classes because someone else is attending. Okay, you're going for a skill acquisition class just because somebody else is going for a skill acquisition class. Do you need it at that time? What is your own special need at that time? So don't join the bandwagon. Know yourself and then decide, what to add to your plate at every time or not, right? And I'm going to say something about how mental unwellness can really mess up with your academia. The first time I ever had a mental health issue or got into a depressed mood, I would dare say depressed, was when I was in medical school and I had to repeat a year, right? It was like the most devastating thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. Because prior to that, as I could say that nothing bad has ever happened to me. Okay, so I was not even prepared. I have never failed an exam before. I have never had any sort of disappointment from my nursery school, primary school. I was head girl. I was class prefect of all my classes in primary school. I got into secondary school. School was easy. I didn't need to read too much like other people read to pass. So imagine my shock when I failed an exam. First of all, it was denial. I went into denial, and then I almost, I just couldn't deal with it. And then I fell into like a mental, you know, unwell state, right? So why? And people were wondering, like, my life took a total turn. Like I left school, I didn't want to come back. I was just unserious. I mean, like I was just doing everything wrong just to fill a void. So people have this kind of disappointments, or people have failed. I mean, in medical school, it's easy to fail. Like people fail, have receipts, have repeats. It's a normal thing. But for me, it was a life-threatening situation for me because I have never experienced such. So that's why people, they say people who have suffered a lot, people who have had a lot of failures, they are better, they are better, they are more successful because they are used to all these things. They have grown resilience, they have a threshold for failure. So imagine if I couldn't come back from that failure, then maybe I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. Maybe I wouldn't have finished my medical school. Maybe I wouldn't have gone ahead to become a public speaker. I wouldn't have started my own NGO. I wouldn't have done all the amazing things that I have done up until now. In fact, the reason why I am the person I am today is because of that failure, because I had to come back and prove a point to myself and to others that, hey, this is not me, and I can rise a bit above this. It made me more serious. I started being more vocal. I started being more present in school. Okay, so failure is not something that we should avoid. Yes, we are all humans. No matter how much you try, it's all probability 50-50. It will work or it will not work. Sometimes you actually read for a course and you will fail. That's happened to a lot of people, right? So know how to turn your failure into success. It's something that people say, and I've adopted it. Rejection of failure is redirection. So when you fail, take it as another stepping stone, to do better. Okay. I've mentioned, how many minutes do I have left?
I think you can continue to the next 7 minutes. We need to return because of the plan we are using.
Oh,
The plan we are
so
using is telling us that we have more 5 minutes too. So in the
okay,
next five
okay.
minutes, we will rejoin.
Okay, so I should wrap up before the 5 minutes, right?
Yes, so that we rejoin
Okay.
again.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So, like I was saying, embrace failure as a stepping stone. Okay, embrace failure as a stepping stone. It can change your life. You just have to move on from it, right? And then everybody has mental health. Mental. No, I don't want to use the word mental health for this. So it's very easy for people to say, "I'm depressed. I'm depressed." There's a difference between depressed mood and depressed, right? So a lot of times, some of us are in a depressed mood because we don't have money, because we are experiencing some downtime or some failures in school, because of even relationship issues. And hey, how did I forget that? Relationship issue, breakfast is one of the major reasons why a lot of people are mentally stressed in school. My first heartbreak almost killed me. Hey, God. My first boyfriend in school, right? The breakup was so terrible. I didn't want to go to school. I couldn't read, right? No, 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 no. It was hard. And I got into school at the age of 16. And I think at that time I was like 18 or 19 when I had that, when I had my first boyfriend. Imagine just getting heartbroken at such a tender age. Okay, there you can take different turns. Some people would stop going to school. Some people would get distracted in school. Some people would get into social vices that ordinarily they would not go into: smoking, drinking, promiscuity, and a lot of that. So that's one way, one other aspect of mental health. That's the emotional well-being that we must take seriously. It still takes us back to that first point I've been talking about: self, your core. You have to build yourself so that you can control what gets to you. If you get heartbroken, you can deal with it, right? You're going to grieve. I always advocate for this. You have to first grieve, you have to heal, and then you have to move on. And you can do it across all aspects, right? You have a financial disappointment, you lose money, grieve, you have to feel it, grieve, heal, move on. You feel, grieve, heal, move on, and go to the next stage of your life. You have a bad relationship, feel, grieve, heal, move on. Okay, so you have to build your core so that external factors don't affect you, because those external factors are status. They will always be there. No matter how good of a person you are, people are going to hurt you. No matter how much you read, you might be unfortunate or you might be unlucky, and then on the day of your exam, somebody is copying behind you and they come and tear your own paper, right? You might apply for sponsorships to conferences, scholarships for your school, and then you get turned down, right? What are you going to do about it? Are you just going to go into a dark hole and bury yourself there? No, you're going to feel, first of all, very important, do not ever postpone grief. Do not ever postpone grief. If anything happens to you, if you have any disappointment, please, first of all, feel it. Cry if you want to, if you have to cry. If you're here, you can hear me. Don't ever, after today, don't ever tell somebody be strong. No, it's a very toxic trait. It's a very toxic thing to advise somebody. Don't tell anybody to be strong. When you have a problem, when you get into a mess, don't be strong first. Cry, feel it, grieve, then heal. Because if you jump to healing, in fact, it's not even going to be healing, it's going to be a faux, like you're just disguising, right? You are not healed, but you're just lying to yourself. Eventually, those emotions are going to come out eventually, and then you still have to deal with it. Okay. So how many minutes more? I don't want to be talking before it goes off.
I think 1.25 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, all of these I have mentioned. The first thing, first of all, is self-care. And I've given you examples on how you can care for yourself, your mental health, your physical health, and your emotional and social health, and your social health well-being. If you're able to, build your core, if you're able to be grounded within yourself, and you're able to, eat adequately. Very important. The way we eat in school, we're eating like prisoners. Their foods, their food. You eat gari, drink gari morning after. Please, yes, we know about the floating berries, and thank you, but school is where
I
you
may
have
like
to
to
optimize
know
your nutrition.
for
Okay,
now.
because there are foods that can improve your mental health, and there are also foods that can depress your your brain activity. Also, be easy on the don't do drugs. Drugs can affect your mental health. Drinking can affect your mental health. Smoking, oncolos, all those things that they do, as in these days, the craziness in school is crazy. So you don't have to,